Merry meet, Annie here, and welcome back to Tarot Together. And our next and final video on the attributes for the Fool's wisdom. We've journeyed through innocence, beginning and beginning again, the journey, change and acceptance, the Godhead, and spiritual evolution. And until not too long ago, that's where my attributes stopped. Stopped in the sense that I was still aware of the possibility to revisit and to expand that. And something happened not too long ago that led me to add to my attributes the Fringe experience. I don't have attributes and reversals on that. I'm still working on that. Still I'm too personal of a place of exploration to share specifically with you. But my contemplations are taking me pretty fantastic places when it comes to this. Let me tell you, this was inspired specifically by reading something in Irene Gadd's Tarot and Individuation book. Here's what she wrote. Fringe experience, on the edge of chaos, from which not intellect, collective conventions, or even the strongest will, but only faith, trust, and purity of heart can, in the end, pull us through. His easy flexibility emphasizes the rigidities that block our lives. The Fool points out that early concerns and ego-boundedness are all precarious, poised in midair between reckless naivete, endangering his very existence, and the leap of faith innocently achieved. Wow. Just made me stop and think. All those things that I listed and all the attributes I've shared with you so far, all the other things I read that didn't make their way into my attributes. The Fringe experience. That liminal moment when he is not still here, and he has not yet leaped. Neither here nor there. And the possibility of what that moment creates. The Fringe experience, on the edge of chaos. Aren't all of our lives, in one sense, chaos? A collection of comings and goings and beginnings and endings. A collection of all the things that I listed in attributes for the Fool, including change and acceptance and evolution, understanding a mystery. It's like dancing on the edge of a pin. There's that moment that's neither here nor there. And everything that happens in that Fringe moment that Irene wrote so beautifully about. We understand in that moment that life, the paradox of living, has been every moment matters and no moment matters. Release of everything that was into what will be. Early concerns and ego-boundedness are all precarious. So maybe if they mattered along the way, there's a sum of them which we don't name, which carries us into the future, but the specifics no longer matter. Because if they do matter, we keep connected to the past. We have to release that in order to leap. There's something about being poised, as she says, in midair between reckless naivete and the leap of faith. We do kind of plow recklessly through life. We have our moments of wisdom. We may have lots of moments of wisdom, but we have as many moments that are foolish and selfish and achieve nothing of import. We roll along collecting moss, the moss of our life, and we get to the edge. Isn't there a moment then that everything that came before, and even what happens next, isn't what we're here for? Maybe the experience of the fringe, that liminal time between the other times, a time which really doesn't exist because it's a concept. Maybe that is what matters. Maybe it's not about where the fool came from or what he's packed in his bag. Maybe it's not even about what moves him or inspires him or what lies at the bottom of that chasm. It's about dancing in the fringe. I had to share that with you. I'm still deciding where it's going to take me. I do think that she's captured something when it comes to individuation, which her book's about. Again, I mentioned that Irene Gadd, G-A-D, the book Tarot and Individuation, a great book. It's about becoming. It aligns powerfully to the thoughts I had with spiritual evolution about initiation and purification. There's a moment of release, disconnection from. It doesn't disallow that all that lives inside of you is wisdom, but it leaves the mundane experience of it behind you. There's something about that. And becoming our purest and highest self, stepping into our possibility, that has led me to consider the power of the fringe experience, and I wanted to share that with you. Where would that take you? If it's not so much about where he's coming from or where he's going, but it's the fact that he is literally in the air, poised between them, what then? Does that lend to the Fool's card in the way of wisdom? This is one where I don't know that I would collect the feeling of reversal, because it almost feels like it's a sum of the power of the card. I really wanted to bring this to you for your consideration. They are all the attributes that I have had in my studies of the Fool card. They've changed, and I know they will continue to change. The flow of the card, innocence, beginning and beginning again, journeying, change, acceptance, the Godhead, spiritual evolution, and perhaps a summation in the power of the fringe experience. I'd love your further thoughts below, and on the Facebook group, of course. For now, I wish you merry part.